10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Youth Night. I'm so glad y'all have made it out, and I'm really excited for what we've got planned tonight. There's a lot of snow falling on all of the microphones, and it's going super well. Super well. You know, sometimes this sound reminds me of a rain cloud that's just pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring. But the rain's over. We're done with that. We don't need no rain anymore. Anyways, again, welcome to Youth Tonight. We got a lot of fun things planned. First off, we got a Hildepants Creations video. And after that, we've got some other fun upset lips? No, Mad Libs. Not upset lips, but Mad Libs. Very confusing. It's very important to get that straight. But before we go any further, we're going to take a few minutes and talk about something that's really cool that's happening, and that's the development of our tech team. So I'm actually going to pass it off to my friend Michael up in the tech booth and ask him a few questions. Michael, are you there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm here. Can you hear me? I think I can hear me.
I can hear you loud and clear, Mike. Good to see you. Good to hear you. So tell me a bit about what you do on the tech team.
So, I mean, me particular at the moment, I'm... you can't see it, it's right below the camera, but I'm running sound and talking, so I'm trying to make sure things don't go crazy here. But yeah, so everything you're hearing, that's normally me. But I'm gonna pass it off to Bethany, and she's gonna tell you what she's doing over there.
Hey, Everett.
Hey, Bethany.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just peachy. How are you?
I'm good. Your baby looks very, very tired.
Yeah, it is definitely past his bedtime. I think we just had the third yawn, which normally means you better get to bed, otherwise you're in trouble. But that's okay. We fine. It's the weekend. We have fun. Anyways, so Bethany, how long have you been part of the tech team?
Oh, since September.
Okay. So when you started, did you have any real experience doing whatever you're doing?
I've done a bit before. I helped out at the local camp that I worked at for a couple of years. Yeah, a little bit of experience.
Okay. Were you able to get a lot of training for your job though?
For my job, I guess. Well, Michael has given me some training, and Pastor Jamie has given me a lot of training, and other people have given me training.
So what you're saying is training is available?
Yes, training is always available. If you are interested, if you like the sound stuff, the camera stuff. We got some great people already helping. We have Jacob here tonight, and Annabelle's here tonight.
Cool. Sorry, awkward turtle. But no, that's cool. That's great. And yeah, I'm glad they're here and they're doing an awesome job. And so there's more openings, right?
Hey,
like,
there's also one other role that like we didn't mention because they're not sitting right up here with us, but that's people running Pro Presenter. So all the videos that you guys see and stuff like that, that's the person running Pro Presenter, which tonight is Annabelle and Emily. And Everett's on dad duty and obviously hosting duty. So thank you for being here, you guys. We're happy that they're here. I mean, if you want to be involved, let Everett, no, not Everett, don't let Everett know. Everett will pass it on to Dallas or me or Bethany. Tell us or Dallas, and we'd be happy to hook you up. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we're looking for more camera people, more sound people, more pro presenter people, and stuff.
Hey, Everett, I think you're up next for what's next. So.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, okay. So up next is Hildepants Creations, and this is a bit of a new spin. I've been really busy creating things. I made James. He's one of my creations. Yep. Anyways, so we're gonna pass pass it off to this video of me not being self-centered. It's just actually me in the video. But yeah, enjoy and toodaloo. Have a good night and stay frosty. All right. In my head, that looks way cooler. Hey guys, welcome to Hildepants Creations, Volume 2. We're gonna change things up today and switch out our finesse skills for some melee skills. And today, we're gonna build
A blanket?
what?
A blanket?
What?
A blanket? Blanket.
All right, we're gonna build a blanket fort. Cool. Okay. To start off, we're gonna need some supplies. Now I'll call my assistant to hand me a supply. My supply, please. Okay, today's supply is this piece of wood. Now before we get too far, I need to introduce you to my lovely staff. This here is Stanley. He's the guy who helps keep me level-headed. His name is also Stanley. Now next in the squad, this guy, he's a brother to Stanley. His name is also Stanley. Although, just don't offend him because he is pro-tractor. Okay, he is pro-tractor. Anyways, that's really all you need to know. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut up this piece and create some snowflakes. Some snowflakes. So you're gonna go and you're gonna grab your lovely tape measure and you're gonna go and flip it out and be like, yep, that's about half. Then you're gonna take your saw, your fancy DeWalt saw, not a sponsor yet. I mean, that's actually pretty close. I'm impressed, actually, to be honest. Anyways, now it's time to take your fresh battery out of your DeWalt saw, not a sponsor yet. Plug it into your DeWalt drill. Grab yourself a few 3-inch screws, and we're gonna do ourselves a nice fine and dandy right angle. Now, if you want, you can grab your buddy Stanley, you know, the good Stanley. And you can make yourself a right angle, or you can be like me and just send it.
Just gonna send it!
Yeah, it's about 90. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so the drill's not going to be part of it. So now I'll get my assistant to assist me and hand me the next part of the project. Assistant!
Oops.
Two-buck boy. Assistant. Now, it's always important to clean up your tools and make sure they are perfectly clean and safe. And then once your work site is very clean and you're nice and level-headed, then you can go ahead and take your blanket and make it all. So sometimes the assembly is required beforehand. So now we're going to jump to a part of the video where it is fully assembled. This is just a little sneak peek for you. And there you have it. A lovely, it's not a snow fort.
Blanket?
Blanket fort, right, yes, that's what we're building. This is a lovely blanket fort, and I made it with my own 2 hands, and it even comes with snow. Some people call it wood chips, but I call it snow. And yeah, this has been Hildepants Creations. Tune in next week to find out what we're gonna do, because I just honestly don't know. Stay frosty, stay safe. Catch you later.
Aiden, we are going to do some super fun stuff. Sorry, I got Jamie talking to my comms underneath me here. Just going to turn that off. It must be annoying, hey? Okay, so, oh, you can't read this. Just, yeah, just look that way. Be nice that way. So if you don't know how Mad Lib Theatre works, if you don't know how Mad Libs work.
I don't. Please tell me.
Please tell you. Let me just flip this over real quick. So, for a Mad Lib, I have a script that was graciously prepared by Pastor Dallas that is in front of me. There are some conveniently placed blanks, but Aiden is not going to know. And some of those things include a verb, the saddest word you know, or another verb, or a bunch of other stuff. You know what a verb is, right?
No.
That's unfortunate, because nor do I.
I'm in high school. Do you really think that I've passed English?
I have been out of high school for quite a while. Do you think I remember? Yeah. So I'm gonna go through these and get some new words for this. Okay. So, what is a name of a flower?
Dandelion.
Dandelion. That's just dandy, isn't it? Dandelion. Is that how you spell dandelion? Sure. On the topic of English.
It could be, as long as I can read it, man.
Name of a dog's chew toy.
Squeaker.
Squeaker. Squeaker. That with an EA or a double E?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. An occupation. I need an occupation.
Toilet scrubber.
Like janitor or just straight up like...
Just toilet scrubber.
Okay, perfect. That must be a different branch of being a janitor.
I'm sure there's multiple
Toilet
branches.
Scrubber. Okay. I need another name of a dog's chew toy.
Cat.
Okay, sure. Yep, I got you. Now, it took me a while to think about that for a second. I need a line from a pop song, like your favorite pop song. What is a line out of your favorite pop song? Preferably a short one, not a super long one, because I want to write fast.
Naturally, this is the one time I can't remember any pop songs.
You got this.
I really don't.
Like a pop song. Do you want me to come back to it and have you think about that one?
Oh, I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
I knew you were trouble. That's a good one.
First thing that came to mind.
Were trouble. I'm running out of space here. When you walked in. You'd think I'd like remember the fact that if I knew you were trouble, but I probably wouldn't. I need another name of a dog's chew toy.
This is a lot of chew toys,
I know.
man. Like, wow. All right. Bone.
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 Bone. I need a noun.
A noun.
A noun.
Plant.
Plant. Sure. Plant. And I need a verb.
Oh, jeez. I knew this would come around.
I know it was coming. I've been
jeez.
trying to.
Dallas, do we have a definition for this yet? Do we have a definition for a verb yet? In action.
Oh, that's what a verb is. Duh. Man, I feel so
You're a
dumb.
godsend, man. All right, walk.
Walk. Walk. We're unmuted upstairs, right? I just want to make sure because I didn't unmute myself when I came down. I need you to dig deep for this one.
Oh, no.
What is the saddest word that you know?
Existence. You said dig deep.
Yeah, I did, and I think I just. We got some more snow happening here. Who was that? That was, I'm guessing that was Everett.
Someone have Chipotle?
What? Yeah, that was Everett. Okay, saddest word you said? Oh, you said existence.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, you guys probably couldn't hear that, but we were getting a whack ton of feedback. I need something that rhymes with problemo.
Frogs are lame-o.
Frogs are lame-o. Sure. Are lame-o. I mean, is it really? Okay, I need a number. We're going to fly through these last ones.
21.
21. I need something counted.
Something count. Pennies.
Pennies. I need another dog's chew toy.
What is with these chew toys? All right, I'm going to name it Clifford.
Clifford. Sure. I need a direction.
North.
I was really hoping you'd say 1, but that's okay. I need another number.
Oh, I get that. Took me a while. Another number?
Yeah.
1.
1. There is one thing here that doesn't have a thing underneath it. And can you? Oh, okay. The number is blank, and can you blank? You don't know. I'm just gonna leave it as blank, and we're just gonna have it. Put a noun. Sure, a noun. That's another. That's a noun.
Stanley.
Stanley. That's not a noun. Okay, sure.
Person, place, or thing.
Sure. Stanley. I need another noun.
Another noun. Jenga.
What?
Jenga.
Jenga. Oh, you're really reaching now. I need a verb.
Run.
Run. Adverb. An adverb is a...
Dallas, definition, please.
Isn't it a... A definition word.
Graying.
Graying.
Like your graying hair.
And a line from a country song. Hope you like country.
I like beer. Okay. I don't listen to country,
Okay,
but
that's fair.
what I have
I was
heard,
hoping for like
there's
I like
definitely a couple out there with that.
Like you could use truck, you could have used anything. Okay, for sure. Another line from a country song.
Got my blue jeans on.
Got. Can I just use jeans on?
Yes.
Jeans on. And another name of a dog's chew toy.
Oh, good Lord.
Make it a good one. This is the last one.
Stefan.
Stefan. Stefan. Perfect. Now I hope you can read my writing because we are ready. I'm going to take a picture of this. You're going to take your script, which is this one, and you're going to go over to where you are going to go for yours, and I'm going to go where I'm going to go, and then we are going to act out this wonderful scene that we just created. Oh boy. Sounds wonderful. So, yeah, you go where you're going to go, I'm going to go where I'm going to go.
Hey guys.
Hey, what?
Why don't eggs tell jokes?
I don't know.
They'd crack each other up.
Oh, I forgot my thing upstairs. Okay, that's okay.
You are forgiven, Michael. forever and always through Jesus Christ.
Okay, so you are caller. Right? Oh, I forgot my other thing over here. Just give me 2 shakes. Everett is shaking. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's another pop song.
Hey, it is too. Okay, no, I'm gonna take this off and we're gonna. All right. Whenever you're ready. Start with a ring, because this is a caller to a.
Ring, ring. Dandelion, my new squeaker broke. I'm going to call those no good smelly toilet scrubber and give them a piece of my mind.
Oh, now you say ring, ring.
Oh, ring, ring.
Hello, thank you for calling Cat. How may I help you? How may I make your day? I knew you were trouble when you walked in today.
Yes, well, my bone arrived today with a faulty plant, and it hasn't stopped walking ever since. Existence!
No problemo, frogs or lamo. We'll take good care of you. If you can give me the last 21 digits of your pennies, and we'll have your Clifford back north in no time.
Okay, the number is 1. And can you Stanley me how to prevent this Jenga from ever happening again?
Perfect. Run right on that. And if you want my graying advice, I would suggest I like beer.
Thank you. I'll be sure to get my blue jeans on.
You do that and have a Steffin' day.
Why, thank you.
Wow. That worked well. And thank you. I don't know what camera I'm looking at right now, but whatever camera, it's on me. Thank you for joining us for Mad Libs with Mike and Aiden. We'll be back another day. Another day, another dollar, another Steffin. What's next, guys? Ah, yes. Now is for the sermon bumper, and then Dallas is going to be coming up and speaking because it's going to be a party. So enjoy. We will see you guys later. Good job.
Okay. Well, welcome here. I too want to extend just a welcome to you. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I've thoroughly enjoyed the activities so far tonight. Who's going to have Everett come do some home renos for you later on? We'll see if you get any takers. But no, so good. Thank you so much to Everett. Thank you so much to Mike and Aiden for that very entertaining Mad Lib Theatre that I could definitely see becoming a movie in and of itself. It was so captivating. So tonight we are continuing our Bible study series of What Does the Bible Say About ... I got an email from one of you this past week and love the question. The question was, what does the Bible say about politics? What does the Bible say about socialism? And would Jesus have been for it or against it? It was a bigger question than I was anticipating, and so I'm excited to dive into this tonight. some definitions are going to be fairly loose, and so you might want to have an extra tab open to do some research yourself. But I'm excited to talk about this because I think this hits a topic that is so big for each of us and in each of our faith, and that is just this idea of kingdom culture. And so the video you just saw was Kingdom Manifesto. We're going to be taking a look at a passage that was in regards to, found in Matthew chapter 5. And so if you have your Bible with you or a spare tab that you can open up, encourage you to open up to Matthew chapter 5. We're going to be talking about this idea that Jesus came declaring of the upside down kingdom. And while he didn't explicitly say upside down kingdom, in much of his teachings what we see is that what he was teaching was upside down from what we would understand his kingdom to be. And in fact, there were people who they were waiting for the Messiah to come, and their expectations of what the kingdom would be caused them to miss Jesus because he wasn't who they expected to come. And so that's what we're talking about, this upside down kingdom. While I was preparing, I was thinking up some fun facts, and one of the fun facts that I found was in regards to the human eye. And you probably know this, so I don't know if that takes the fun out of the fact, but your eye, and I think we have a diagram here for your viewing pleasure, but when you see something, what your eye will do is it'll take that object, that image, and it'll flip it by the time that it gets to the back of your eyeball, so the retina, right? If you've ever seen something that was tragically scarring, you might have said, my retinas are burning. That's the back of your eyeball, so it's something else that I learned today too. But it flips it upside down. So in a way, everything that you see is upside down, which is pretty interesting. So then you might wonder, well, why is everything right side up right now then? It's because after it hits the retina, it will, on its way to the brain, flip once again to be right side up. Here's our fancy, very blurry diagram, which I Googled in a mad fury. But as you can see, there's, your lens. I'm not going to get technical with this. I'm not an optometrist. This is your image that you see. Your eye captures it, but flips it by the time it gets to the retina. So once again, if you've ever seen anything scarring, nothing tonight, of course, but if you've seen something scarring, it burned this part of your eyeball, the retina there. But fun fact, isn't it, that everything you see is upside down? You're probably wondering, why do I bring this up? Because, once again, in a deeper sense, I think we all see things upside down to one extent or another. And as we dive into this passage of Matthew chapter 5, what we're going to see, again, is that the kingdom that Jesus came declaring might not be the kingdom that you were expecting to find, where the greatest are to become the least, where the first are to be the last. We begin to see how he's flipping upside down our understanding of the kingdom. So, in the King of the Kingdom, Jesus, we see the greatest flipping of the world order that history's ever known. And I'm excited to dive into this, experience it together. So again, the question that was asked, again, thank you so much for asking this question to the person who asked this. Again, bigger question than I was expecting, but I love where it's going to take us. But the question was, what would Jesus think about socialism, was the specific question. Was he a socialist? And so socialism, again, in my very basic terms, it's the idea, there's two kinds of socialism that you can understand. The one is a democratic socialism, the other one is more of a dictatorship kind of socialism. So in a democratic socialism, you've got your parties, the rulers of your nation whom the people have voted in. Whereas in a dictatorship, you've kind of got one ruler, and what he or she says goes. And so those are kind of the differing factors. But socialism then is the idea that you don't have people, getting ahead by working harder and becoming filthy rich. Instead, what happens in a socialist government is the government seeks to control and disperse the wealth of the nation so that everybody has equally. There's no, again, filthy rich. It's you either succeed or fail together as a nation. So that sounds really good on the surface level, right? And I'm sure as we, even as I say that, you're probably thinking of a passage or two where Jesus taught things that sounded like socialism, where, sell everything you have, give to the poor, right? The rich young ruler in Matthew chapter 19, he said, "Go and sell all that you have, give the money to the poor, and you'll have riches in heaven." Sounds pretty good, right? Or again, in Acts, in the early church, you see examples of what would look like socialism, once again. Because in Acts, you see people selling their properties, their fields, their possessions, selling it all, taking the proceeds and dispersing it amongst everybody in the church so that, as it says in Acts, they each had everything in common with one another. Again, it sounds great, right? Like, I think we can all get behind this idea. But, and this is where we, slam the brakes on, there's a few problems that if you're buying into this, that you're going to have to deal with, to think through, to figure out. The problem is that socialism's proven problematic when people, they catch on to the fact that, oh, I don't have to work really hard to get ahead, then why would I work at all? And then they end up, relying on kind of how the nation's set up instead of working hard, which is a good thing to work hard. It's because each of us, as again, we've all experienced to some level or another, either in our own lives or in the lives around us, that the world is not as it should be. We all have this problem of sin that causes us to be broken, to be corrupt, to instead of seeking to serve others, it causes us to seek to step on others to get ahead. And so these are some of the problems that you're going to run into in dealing with socialism. Again, no one can argue that the intent of socialism sounds really good, right? Like keep everything equal. That's what you're taught in school, right? Teacher comes in with a bag of jelly beans. Everybody gets the same amount of jelly beans, right? Why? Because if you don't, then you've got an uprise and a coup in the classroom. But here's the heart level factor to consider. Because again, while this sounds really good, the question that I want you to consider is it really sharing if you're forced to share, right? So if you have siblings, you probably know what this is like. If you've ever had friends over and your parents, told you share your things with your friend, is it really sharing if you're forced to share, or is it more compliance to the orders given? Because I would argue that it's only sharing if you really care in the first place, right? Sharing is caring. Only if you care in the first place, right? Like if I care about you enough to share what I have, to give whatever it is that I think will serve you best, and if you are, the one that I care about most in the whole giving of whatever it is, that's caring. That's what makes these calls of Jesus work and thrive within the church. It's when we see others as greater than ourselves. Instead of, again, socialism would say, we succeed or fail together. But the primary focus there is succeeding, right? We want to get ahead. Of course we do. But again, you hear the teachings of Jesus, which we're about to take a look at, and you see how that whole world order gets flipped upside down, where your sharing and caring for others might mean that it's going to set you back. It's going to cost you. But it's worth it because Jesus invites us to take part in this kingdom that flips our understanding of the world order. So, in short, was Jesus a socialist? Would he have kind of bought into socialism? I don't think so, especially when you consider, again, the nature of mankind. And C.S. Lewis, I think he saw this, and he articulated it so well. Got a quote by him that says, "Mankind is so fallen that no man can be trusted with unchecked power over his fellows." Aristotle said that some people were only fit to be slaves. I do not contradict him, but I reject slavery because I see no men fit to be masters. And so while the intent of socialism, it sounds really good, right? Let's share, let's have everything divided equally so that we can succeed together. The problem with that is the people who are set in charge to lead, they're human too. They've got that same problem that you and I have too, of sin that breaks us and corrupts us to want to step on others instead of lift others up. And sooner or later, that temptation to serve self before others, it's going to overcome, right? Leaders want power, and those who buy into socialism want success. But in Jesus' kingdom, our motivation for the success of others at times will exclude our own. That's, I think, the differentiating point to be made and to be taken. So again, we're going to take it back to the sharing example. Because in the church, we are instructed to give, right? We're to share everything we have, right? Because it's not ours to begin with, right? But in our generosity, again, we don't expect anything in return. And it's an idea that doesn't make sense, right? To give and expect nothing in return. See, this is the tricky thing, is you can do the best, you can give everything you have, but the difficult part is that in the back of our minds, there can always be that sneaking expectation of getting something in return. Whether it's just the accolades of, wow, did you hear what that person did? Like what they gave away to those people? We can desire that, or we can desire that, I've given everything away, so who's going to have my back when I need something? But in Jesus' kingdom, there's no expectation. It's just give it all. Be it your possessions, be it your life, be it your love, even when someone hates you. Upside down kingdom. And here's why. Because in God's kingdom, everything belongs to Him, which makes us stewards. And so if that's a new word to you, it's basically this idea that everything that you have, again, possessions, your bodily abilities, your personality, the very life that you have in you right now, it's all a gift from God, the creator of it all, the sustainer of life. He's given it all to you, and He wants you to thrive with all that He's given you. But He wants you to thrive as His steward, and a steward doesn't use his master's possessions for his own glory, right? He doesn't take out the Ferrari and say, look at my car. No, it's master's car. So again, think about, the gifts that you have, what makes you uniquely you. And think about how God has equipped you with that for His glory, to point to Him. When people say like, wow, you are really good at whatever it might be, think of ways that you can give all the credit to God. It doesn't have to be in a cheesy statement, but you can be real about it. Saying, let me tell you something about this God that I serve and the way that He has equipped me to be who only I can be, and how in that I'm made to thrive in this community of the church, and how others' needs are far more important than my own. See, the thing with our world today is, if you look around, you can see so many people that are out there and they're doing whatever they can to be successful. I think TikTok's a good example of this. They're not doing, always really impressive things to be successful. Sometimes it's really stupid things to be successful. But the world is starving to get ahead, right? That's what we're presented with in marketing. It's, get this new car, you'll be this kind of person. People will idolize you, they'll envy you. Get ahead how you can, have more followers, get more likes. But if you've spent any amount of time in pursuit of those things, you find how empty it can be. It's never enough. Never enough. But in God's kingdom, you find the one who has unlimited resources and the most satisfying and fulfilling purpose that the world has ever known. It's such a freeing kingdom to be a part of. So again, and this is a long lead up to the passage that we're in, but Matthew chapter 5, we see one of the most famous sermons the world has ever known. It's called the Sermon on the Mount, and in it we find what's called the Beatitudes. And so Jesus is on this mountain, He's about to preach, and this is where He introduces this upside-down kingdom to the world. And as we read this tonight, what I want you to consider is consider this as an invitation of who God's calling you to be, of how God's calling you to wield everything that He's been given you to steward, and of how you can glorify Him in everything that you do, in everything that you think, in everything that you say, and in everything that you enjoy. So again, Matthew chapter 5, feel free to read with me, or I'll have it on the screen here as well. So it says, "Seeing the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and when he sat down, his disciples came to him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, 'Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you.'" And so as Jesus gives this sermon, I imagine people were, at first, they're thinking this is going to be great, motivational speech of a lifetime. And the sermon doesn't end here. It continues. And what I want to challenge you with in the week ahead is do your own personal study on Matthew chapter 5 and 6, the Sermon on the Mount, because in it, you see that Jesus, he flips the world order upside down. So again, if you want to be great, you need to become the least. If you want to be first, you need to become the last. You need to consider others better than yourselves. Love your enemies. This backwards understanding of what it is to be a part of a kingdom, right? And that's why people missed him. But again, if you dive into this passage, if you let his words soak over you, and if you accept this invitation to be a part of his kingdom, what you're going to find is more freedom than the world will offer. You're going to find a leader that will never let you down. You're going to find that no matter, where the waters get blurred in life, be it, politics or be it whatever it might be, you're going to find the way, the truth, and the life. He is not going to let you down. And you're going to experience this freedom knowing that there's nothing that we have that we're taking with us, but there's everything that we have that we're stewarding for our King, for our Lord, for our Savior, Jesus Christ. That is a mission, a purpose, far more worthwhile than trying to get ahead, to try and have more than others, to try and be more popular, more liked. Look at the words of Jesus. Blessed are those who are reviled for his sake. So he's saying, even though you have, at times you might have nothing, you are blessed. A reminder of who you are in him, a reminder that in him you find the greatest treasure that the world has ever known. That, I hope, is each of our focus tonight as we continue to navigate what 2021 has in store for us and what God has equipped each and every one of us with to steward for his glory. So again, loose terms, loose understanding of politics. But what my biggest hope is that each of us have our eyes fixed on the one who can guide us through it all, who can give us understanding, life, and truth. Would you pray with me? So, Father, again, I thank you so much for this night that we have to gather to experience creations that were very impressive, to watch theater that, again, was amazing. I thank you so much that regardless of the times we find ourselves in, we can still gather virtually like this. Father, I ask that as we continue to navigate the world around us, that our first and foremost greatest allegiance would be to you, that in you we would pray for our leaders, regardless of what side of the spectrum they fall on. God, knowing that the world order has been flipped upside down in Jesus, made the way that you have created things to be, and that it is blessed to be a part of your upside down kingdom. So, Father, as we conclude our night with a short video now, I just pray that you would go with us wherever we go from games after this. Again, I thank you so much for each student that is here. We love them, and God, together we love and praise you in everything that we do. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. So we do have a short video now from the Bible Project. I've mentioned these guys numerous times. I can't mention them enough. And so tonight I'm giving you an opportunity. You're here, we're now. Let's check out this video about the Upside Down Kingdom. Make sure that if you like their video, look them up, follow them, subscribe. They've got amazing content. So take a look.
There's this beautiful poem. It's in the book of Isaiah.
The city of Jerusalem has just been destroyed by Babylon, a great kingdom in the north. And all of these Jewish people, they've been sent away into exile, but a few remained in the city. And they're left wondering, what just happened? Has our God abandoned us?
Right, because Jerusalem was supposed to be the city where God would reign over the world to bring peace and blessing to everyone.
Now, Isaiah had been saying that Jerusalem's destruction was a mess of Israel's own making. They had turned away from their God, become corrupt, and so their city and their temple were destroyed.
Yeah, everything seems lost.
But the poem goes on. There's a watchman on the city walls, and far out on the hills we see a messenger, and he's running towards the city. He's running and he's shouting, "Good news!" And Isaiah says, "How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news."
Beautiful feet?
Yes, the feet are beautiful because they're carrying a beautiful message.
What's the message?
That despite Jerusalem's destruction, Israel's God still reigns as king, and that God himself is going to one day return to this city, take up his throne, and bring peace.
And the watchmen sing for joy because of the good news that their God still reigns.
Now, in the New Testament, we find this same phrase, the good news. It's the Greek word euangelion, and it's also sometimes translated with the word gospel.
Yeah, so when Christians say, "Do you believe the gospel?" they mean, do you believe the news?
But not just any news. In the Bible, this phrase is always about the announcement of the reign of a new king. And in the New Testament, the Gospels use this phrase to summarize all of Jesus' teachings. They say that he went about proclaiming the good news of God's kingdom.
So Jesus saw himself as the messenger, bringing the news that God reigns.
Yes, but the way that he described God's reign, it surprised everybody. I mean, think, a powerful, successful kingdom. It needs to be strong, able to impose its will, able to defeat its enemies. But Jesus said the greatest person in God's kingdom was the weakest, the one who loves and who serves the poor. And he said that you live under God's reign when you respond to evil by loving your enemies and forgiving them and seeking peace. This is an upside-down kingdom.
Now, Jesus also said that this kingdom was arriving with him.
Yeah, so for example, there's this really interesting story where there's a high-ranking Roman officer, and he comes to Jesus begging him to heal his servant. And he even calls Jesus his Lord, acknowledging that Jesus is his authority. Jesus praises this man for recognizing what no one else yet had, that not only was Jesus announcing God's kingdom, he was the king.
And so the word gets out that this Jewish man from Galilee is talking and acting like he's the king of Israel. He's appointing 12 disciples, which are an image of Israel's 12 tribes. He's healing people, forgiving people their sins.
And all of this so threatened Israel's leaders that they finally decide to have him killed. And Jesus let them.
Yeah, which is a weird thing to do if you're trying to become king.
That's right. But for Jesus, this is what had to happen. Jesus saw the sin and the devastation of his people Israel as just one small part of the entire human condition. How all humanity has rebelled against God, resulting in the tragedy and devastation of our whole world. And so how is God going to bring his reign over such a world? Jesus believed it would be through an act of sacrificial love for his enemies. This is why in the Gospels, Jesus' crucifixion is depicted as his enthronement as the King of the Jews.
Yeah, he receives a crown. He also receives a robe.
He's exalted up, not onto a throne, but onto the cross.
How beautiful are the feet that bring good news.
And the good news now is that Jesus has defeated death and that he reigns as king, that he's dealt with our sin and corruption himself and that he's conquered it with his life and with his love.
And then Jesus sends his followers to go out and keep announcing this good news of the upside down kingdom.
and to invite everyone to give their allegiance to him, the King who defeated death with his love.
So I don't know about you, but that's the kingdom that I want to be a part of. And if you're new to church, if you're new to any of this, then I invite you tonight to reach out to, we've got leaders in the comment section there. You can reach out to me at the church here anytime you want. But this kingdom is worth being a part of. You know, the right side up kingdom that the world presents of, get ahead and do whatever you have to do to get there, it doesn't measure up. But Jesus does. And his kingdom, the moment you enter it, you realize that there is this freedom that you were created to enjoy, to thrive in. And so if that's something that you're interested in tonight, please, again, reach out in the comment section. Once again, encourage you to continue through the week ahead to study Matthew chapter 5 and 6. Use the Bible Project videos online. Again, super insightful. I hope that I haven't just been talking it up for you to be disappointed, because it is incredible, the content that they produce. And so that is it for Bible study tonight, but that's not it for our night. We've got a couple things going on in just a few moments. So tonight we have code names, and I'm blanking on who was running code names. Was it Laura and Bethany? Yes. No, and Mike. Laura and Mike. Sorry, I saw like these frantic finger pointings going, and all I could see was a monitor covering whoever was pointing. So I took a guess. It was 50-50. Laura and Mike with code names. If you've never played code names, it's a great game of espionage where you need to be creative with your words that connect words but not the wrong words. It's a great time. And if you're interested in joining that, they're going to have the way to do that in the comment section right there in just a few moments. We've also got, and once again, I'm blanking, Kahoot with Bethany and Bronwyn. Yes, remember that? Again, frantic fingers pointing. Kahoot with Bethany and Bronwyn. I think everybody loves Kahoot. Again, but I also think everybody's going to love code names after this. So it's going to be tricky to decide which one to join. I'll join one of them. Can't wait to see you there. Again, we thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're continuing to pray for you, to cheer you on as you navigate this unknown season of your life. We have your back 100%. So if you ever need someone to talk to, please reach out to myself, one of the youth leaders. We love you guys and cannot wait to see what God is going to continue to do in you and through you in his upside down kingdom. So we love you. We'll see you same time, same place online next Friday. See you then.